anyways, at some point, I'm up north helping my uncle build some fences for his ranch up there, and my cousin's moving to Texas. So I'm like, I'll help you move to Texas, man. Let's load some stuff up. So we load it all up, and we head down to Central Texas. And I'm down there, and I'm remodeling their trailer because her husband's working, and so we're just trying to get set up for him when he gets off work. And so I'm putting in carpet and baseboard and painting and just kind of remodeling her place. And I get a call from a buddy of mine when I was framing in Vegas. We were partners for a while. Yeah. And he's all, dude, I'm in the Bay Area, and I just got my contractor's license, dude. I'm starting a company, and you got to come out here and help me framing. So I'm like, all right, dude, I'm on my way. So I take off from Texas, and I drive up to the Bay Area, and I'm there, and things are good. We're working. We're doing well. It's a thriving little company. He's dabbling in speed, so I'm able to do it too, and I'm getting it through him. And by then I'm so functioning. We're not partying at all or anything like that. I'm never not on dope. I'm just, that's my lifestyle. I get up in the morning. I do dope. I do a little at lunchtime, and then I come home and I do dope, and then I go to sleep. It's just, this is my lifestyle. So I'm using, but we're working, man. We're working. We're framing. I had built one of the best houses I ever built. Just so thrilled with how that came out. Way far above my ability, and was able to rise to the occasion. Just loved it. During that time, the guy that he was getting his stuff from said, dude, I can't do this anymore, but I'm gonna hook you up with somebody else. So we're at the bar waiting for this other person to show up, and in walks this gal who happens to be my wife now. So she was my drug dealer for a little while.
So she was a drug dealer?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
Okay.
So she was just kind of running for some friends of hers, but so I was always just willing to pay whatever I had to pay, just so it wasn't any inconvenience. I didn't like to get caught up in all the tweaker stuff. Oh, where are you going to be? I'm going to wait for 6 hours for somebody to show up, and then all this. I didn't want, whatever I got to pay, I just want you to come when you're supposed to come, and so I have it, and so I can go along my way, because I don't want to get caught up in all this. Yeah. I got stuff to do. So it was cool. So I was paying an outrageous amount, and she still teases me about that. About what an idiot I was for paying that much, but I could call her, and she was there, and it was good. So it didn't take long before she's coming back to my house, and we're sleeping together and liking each other a bit. And then like I say, there's a little dispute here as to whether or not I found out she was pregnant and left and came back, or I left and found out she was pregnant and came back. So depending on whose story you listen to. But either way, it was all in a pretty lickety-split thing. But I remember being in my truck. I headed back to my Uncle Bobby's. And I was on my way there. And whether I knew she was pregnant before or I just found out on the phone, either way, I remember specifically finding out that she was pregnant and thinking about it. And I remember praying. I've always wanted to be a father. God, is this what you want? I remember asking him that, and it was. And so I called her up and said, look, let's just get married. Let's do this right. Let's get married. So I proposed to her, and she said yes. And so I came back, and we moved from the Bay Area. We had to. She lived there her whole life. Everybody that she knew used. Everybody that I knew there used. My father, his rock crushing glory had moved to Tonopah, Nevada. So I'm like, hey, we can go work for my dad. Let's just go out there. So I told my dad, hey, no more blowing through town, working here and there just for a couple of bucks. I want to be a part of this company. I want to, make this, the last job I ever have. Yeah. I give him the whole sales pitch. He says, yeah, come on out. So I come out there, and I'm working there. I'm only there for a couple months, and then winter hits. And when winter hits, they all go on unemployment. Mm-hmm. But I hadn't had a paying job before that. On the books paying job. I was getting paid under the table. So that was interesting, because everybody went on unemployment, and I couldn't go on unemployment, and there's snow on the ground, there's no work, so I can't be there. I got a pregnant wife, a pregnant girlfriend at this time, and I got to go somewhere I can make a living. So my mom's got some friends in Havasu, so we head down to Havasu, and we're there. We get married when she's 8 months pregnant. 8.5 months pregnant in Laughlin, and CJ's born in Havasu,
Wow.
And life is good. So,
Man, so you had a son, huh?
yeah, I had a son.
That's great. I bet was that a climactic moment for you? Was it a big moment?
Yeah, it was a really big moment. I was when we found out she was pregnant, we both quit using, so I wasn't high, but I was still drinking. So I was still in my little haze. Seems like I was my whole life seems like I was sober, even though I was using. But when pinnacle moments come that I can remember, I remember them very foggy. So I know that I was messed up. You know what I mean? I mean, at the time I think, oh no, I'm good, and I don't feel like I lived my life in a drunkenness. I was always under the influence, but highly functioning. But when I look back on things that I remember, it was a haze. So it was more than just functioning. I was yeah. Anyways.